Hello, Jimonis. Today I'm going to talk about the 9 things that I saw based on taking a look at more than 340 gyms, plus making sure I understand what were the things that were getting them the best success. And those are just 9 things. So if you're able to do those 9 things properly, you can easily scale your gym to 7 figures and above. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into those. Now, we're gonna unreveal one by one each and every one of them, and if you stick by the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to organize step by step, how to fix and every single one of those, and really dissect what it is that you should be focusing on. All right. So number one, we're going to dive straight into it, which is going to be lead generation. So lead generation is extremely important because if you don't get leads, man, you can really do anything without the rest of this thing. So how can you find out systems, build out systems that can generate you leads? Can be in-person events, can be Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever it is that you guys want, referral systems, which we're going to be talking a bit further into a bit, but how you can build systems like that on how you can just generate leads for your facility. Number two, really simple. And I'm going to go fast through those because after that, I'm going to show you by details how to fix every single one of those. But I want to first dive into each and every single one of those one by one. Number two is going to be lead nurturing. And that's, I would say, where the most amount of money is lost. A lot of gym owners know how to generate a few leads. They know how to run a few Facebook ads. They have a good product. That means that people are coming through the doors. But where the money is lost, in my opinion and in my experience, is in the lead nurturing. It's either not done at all, not done enough, or not done properly. And those are three very different problems. Because you have lead generation aspect, pretty simple. You know how to run a Facebook ad or two and you're good. That's pretty simple as that. On this channel, I have a few examples on how you can do that, so you can check those out. Now, lead nurturing, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this one because it's really an important one. Lead nurturing, it's not about sending a couple text reminders. Well, it's always better than nothing. If you just send out a couple text reminders, you may get a 30-40% show up rate because that's really the metric we're trying to optimize for. Now, the difference is made when you understand those multiple things. Number one, you understand the volume of touch points that you have with the person. When I say volume, it's dissected in 2 things. It can be quantity, but also quantity of outreach attempts, but also quantity of time when you spoke with that person. The more you speak with a person, let's say you have somebody on the phone, the likelihood of somebody that you had on the phone discussed a bit about, hey, like what it is that you want to come for, what's the reason for that, and the person that just like booked with the booking link, you never talk with them and you hope they're going to cross your fingers, they're going to show up. The likelihood of the first person to show up is way higher than the second person. So you got to really take all of that into consideration when you're building your nurturing sequences. How can I find a way to engage with people, create conversations, and be able to talk with them to increase that? So then, after lead nurturing, which you really are tracking with sharp rates, that's really the main metric you want to be optimizing for at the end, because that's what you want to be optimizing for. Here we can say cost per lead, ideally, but again, you can get a meh cost per lead, but if you make sure the other metrics in the funnel are doing good, then you can just, forget about it basically. Now, let's go into number three. Number three, really, really, really important. Extremely important, because you're going to have number one and number two good, but if your number three is not good, well, nothing's going to happen. The business is not going to grow. Sales, really important. And that you track by the sales conversion rate, SCR. So the sales conversion rate is extremely important. Now, I want to make a point in this end that it's not only about the conversion rate, it's also about the amount of cash that you're able to get and how fast you're able to get that cash. For a simple reason, because when you're able to get a lot of cash, I want to say upfront as soon as possible, you're then able to reinvest that into other systems right here, or any one of them I'm going to show you after that, which are going to help you to get the business growing faster and just have a better gym. Now, sales is really about 2 things, as I told you, is how many people can you close, how many people in front of you can you convert, and also how fast can you convert them. Let's say you're running some form of a trial for, I don't know, like a 30-day offer or whatever. If most of those guys you close them on day 22, it's not as good as if you close them on day 1, day 3, for example. So you really want to look at how fast can you convert those newcomers, and also, well, what's the conversion rate? And bottom line also, how much money you made per person. That's also a really important metric to be tracking. Let's go into number four, shall we? Number four is going to be extremely simple, my friends. Service delivery. So that's going to be how you do how you deliver a service, basically. Now, for this, I see with most gym owners I'm talking to, most of you guys, you rely on two of those, which are, tell you what, actually I'm gonna reveal this one. I think it's number 9. Let's think if right. Yeah, exactly. Most of gym owners, they rely with those two: referrals, word of mouth, and service delivery. Now, you can grow a business like this. Most gym owners I know, they never really ran ads, or they tried it, didn't really work. But the biggest, most important thing that the gym had that got them to where they are right now, usually 20, 30K per month, something like that, is simply service delivery and referrals. They have a great gym, they have a great product, which generates some referrals, which I'm going to go then into how to generate referrals, besides having a great product. And that is how they grew. But you see, those are just a few elements of everything. And if you have everything nailed down, you can just get way faster. And that's why I see a lot of gym owners either are not able to get back to the level where they were at before COVID, or that they just are stuck at some places. They just get barely enough members to slightly grow, but with churn, they just, don't really get to see that exponential growth, and they just stagnate forever, and it's really frustrating. So service delivery, just having a great gym. Now, I'm not the best guy to provide you service with that now, because I'm not like, I didn't run a gym, to be honest. So I'm not going to be able to provide you the best advice on that for now. But I'm going to make sure I update my knowledge as well. Pretty much I'm growing every single day. Now, I can tell you a few things for sure with referrals. Referrals, it's a big important part. Now, you can definitely, it's caused by the service, of course, that you deliver. If they don't see the results, well, you're not going to be able to get that many referrals. But the thing is, you can definitely kind of incitate that. What I would do, one of the things that I would do is have a lot more tracking regarding the metrics that you have inside of your gym. So with an easy example I can give you is somebody that do a weight loss program. With that, you can easily track the results because it's really tangible on the improvements and the goal attainments that people are having inside of the gym. And considering those metrics, tracking them is the most important part first, because then you see, okay, I see that the speed to achieve the goal can be increased. How can we do that? I see that people staying, like keeping having their goals achieved and kind of going on a better tangent after that could be improved too. But you can only track those things with metrics. That's what I really want to make clear in this video too. Metrics. Track your metrics, Tim Horners. But that apart, one of the biggest easy wins I would do, and that's one of the few things that we do whenever we come into a facility, which is really simple. We look at the most successful members we have, and we simply ask them, hey, do you know anybody else that may want to come with you? That's also a part that we use in lead generation too, to give you an idea. Whenever you do get somebody in to book an appointment, always ask them if they want to come with a friend. Always. You typically are going to get 10-20% more people booking an appointment, and way more likely to come into the facility simply by asking. So the biggest thing I would say in here is ask. Ask, guys. You really don't lose anything by doing that, but what you lose is if you don't do it. Really. Now let's go into number 5, automations. This one is one of the maybe looking like, scary things. Indeed, scary things, but really useful things too. I can tell you that for sure in my business, that whenever I find something that I'm doing just all the time, and I'm like, man, it just eats 30 minutes per day every single day of my time. I could use those 30 minutes to focus on higher, bigger leverage activities. That really sucks. Now, you can fix that by 2 things. This one, automations, is one of them. I'm going to show you another one also that's going to help you to fix that. But in this instance, what I want you to do, and that's one of the things that my mentor told me to do, is you take your day and you track. Again, the recurring thing is, hey, track your damn everything, pretty much. But in this instance, track your time. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be tracking your time. In this instance, I'm going to try to draw a clock. It's decent enough, but track your time in this instance and see all these time draining tasks that you are going over. I just keep updating my CRM this way. I check my emails at this time, whatever. take an inventory of all those things. Now, you can either do number 5, or you can do, is it number 6 or number 7? We're going to see. Ooh, yes, it is number 6, indeed. You can either, when you track your time, automate or delegate hiring. Those are extremely important tasks. And whatever it is, you do decide, okay, can I automate that? Can I do a zap or an automation that can just free me some time here? I can just get 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. In my opinion, if you take a look at all the things you're doing every single week and you take a look at all those admin tasks, updating CRM, whatever, most of them you can automate with a Zap or an automation software like this. If you take a look at all of those things with automations alone, you can easily save 4 hours a week, something like that, which is huge when you think about it. That's like, how many sales appointments can you do? Like, how many small sessions you could be doing, like whatever it is that you guys want to focus on, but that's way more time. That's pretty much an afternoon if you take a look at it. Just by doing a few zaps, taking a week or two to learn how to do the thing and then identify the things that you need to then automate, and then you're pretty much good forever. So that's really, really important to do. Second thing to be doing in that instance, and that's an extremely high leverage activity, is going to be hiring, of course. Now we're going to always have the same issue with, I got to find the right people and whatever, for sure. And that's just the way it is, honestly. I hear business owners in general just complain all the time about, my employees and whatever, like, you can't find good people. If you hold that belief, you're never going to be able to find the good people, because the truth is, yes, great people are not very frequent. They're uncommon. And that's the nature of it. If everybody was so great, everybody would be thriving, which is not the case. So my biggest piece of advice here would be simply don't have this belief that everybody can do the work as good as you can do it. Of course, you just need them to be good enough for you to be able to free some time to first and foremost make sure they do the task right. When they do the task 80% of the way, you let them do. If you see that they have some consistency and they can just stick into it enough, with enough time, they're going to be better than you. That's one thing that I saw when I hired my first few people, is that at the beginning, you're like, that's good enough. I don't really have the time to make it that much better. I'm just going to I don't want to say leave them. I keep monitoring them. But like, the big thing is done now. They just need to get their hands dirty. And once they do that for a long enough period of time and they stick to it longer, I found them finding new strategies, better way to actually tweak the systems than what I usually came up with. And that's really surprises me. Of course, you got to find the right people, how to identify the right talent at the beginning. But when you have that and you let them just do those things and get their hands dirty, usually after oftentimes weeks or a few months, they're able to come up with better ways to actually improve on the system that you just came up. It's like you build up until this point and they they catch up to you. And then once they're here, they kind of keep building it up by themselves. That's pretty much the way it works with hiring. Let's go into number 7, my friend. Number 7 is going to be your retention. Extremely important. Sure, that's one of the things that is highly, one of the biggest problems. Most gym owners don't really take a look at it too much, but if you think about it, not only does it suck that people leave, but also number 2, guys, if you think about it, if, for example, and that's one of the things that we look at when we start working with somebody, if I get you a new member, and your member, just for argument's sake, is paying $200 a month, got you, they pay $200 a month, the average time somebody stays in the gym is 7.9, because I don't really want to be doing that math with you guys. 7.9. Actually, we can do that pretty easily. That's going to be 790 times 2. That's going to be $1,580, if my math is correct. If it's not, tell me in the comments that I suck at math. But basically, every single client that you get with the average churn, basically the average time somebody stays in the gym, with most gyms being 7.9 months, is going to be the average value per client. If we pick somebody at $200, $1,580. Let's say, for example, you just improve that stats, and then you get people to just stay 4 more months. That's like, when you take a look at it, that's pretty much like a 30% increase, which is pretty nice. But let's just pick those numbers and take a look at them for argument's sake. So then your 200 becomes, in this instance, that becomes $2,080. and $400. Now, what does that mean? If you take a look at it, that means, guys, not only it's not gonna suck because you're like, oh, like I can keep people in my gym longer, and I know a big part of gym owners like you just have like having a family around the same values, which is big. People stay with you longer. But plus, every single person that comes into the gym, you're gonna be able to spend more to acquire more people, which is then long run gonna help you to grow the gym faster. So it's really, 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 really important because you don't want to have a revolving door business. That's the worst thing to have. Now, let's go do well the last one because I revealed the number 9 early. Last one is going to be tracking. Oh, we come back in the loop. Oh, damn. But indeed, this is a recurring thing of every single thing in this little bubble right here, guys. If you don't track any of those metrics and you're not able to dissect, okay, because when I get with gym owners, it's like, I can't get members. Like, I don't have members. I need more members. Cool. Like, where is the issue right here? I don't have time. Okay, cool. It's maybe right here that's the issue, or right here that you need to really focus on your time. Got you. Oh, I just don't. I need more leads. Cool. Those 3, which are the ones that we focus the most on. Those 3. Got you. Oh, I'm getting members, but they don't stay enough long for enough time. Got you. This, But if you don't ask yourself the right questions, just dig to the problem. What is my gym facing at the moment? What is the issue? Am I just not getting enough traffic? Am I not getting enough of that traffic to come? Am I not getting enough of that traffic that comes to buy? When they buy, is the service good so that they stay? Does that give me a bunch of referrals? Good. Acquisition systems on paper working. Got you. Now, I don't like the time to focus on the other tasks that I need to do to grow the business. Can I automate my time? Can I automate a few things? Can I delegate a few things? Now, with the business running, am I just getting people into a revolving door? They stay for a long time. That's pretty much all the questions that you gotta ask yourself. When you figure all those things out, you see, okay, what should they be working on? And what I do actually is I have a very similar layout to my business, of course, adapted to mine. But what I do is usually you can, as a business owner, you're like, oh yeah, I want to focus on 1,000 things at the same time. But let's be honest, we're humans. We can only do one good thing at a time. That's what I find with myself. I can maybe work on a specific part of the business for a week or so, and then I just move on to the next. I just take a look at what is the most important thing that I need to be fixing right now. I just fix that problem for good, and then I move on to the next problem. Being a business owner is simply about taking a look at a metric, at a specific part of your business, fixing it. Once it is fixed, you move on to the next most important task. First, ask yourself, what is the most important task at hand? Once you have that answer, you simply go ahead and you go be like, okay, cool. You can go on this app. It's called Miro. As you can see right here, I like to do it because I'm a visual guy. If you're like this too, it's going to help you out. But yeah, build out a similar layout to me. And then what I would be doing is like, okay, what's the biggest restraint to my business at this point in time? My sales conversion rate is not good. It's like 30%. It's average, but I want to get it to at least 50%. Got you. So what I'm going to be doing is I take this one and I say, okay, cool. Well, we're going to be working on this one, blue. Now, in sales, what do we need to be working on specifically? Then I'm going to be doing a little sticky note or whatever, and I can say, cool. The biggest thing I see is that most people, they come in, they have a price objection, and I just don't end-all objection. Now, got you. We're going to be taking objections, and then objections. What do we have? You dissect the problem. The biggest thing here is just like, okay, let's just work on objections because it's not clear enough. You don't have a process approach to fix that. You're going to be taking a look at it and you can say, okay, cool. Put another sticky note. The smaller this is like objections, bigger problem. Then we go into it. What do we have? We have the pricing objection. Okay. Then we also have the think about it objection. Wrong thing to copy and paste. We also have the think about it objection. Okay. So think about it. Got you. So let's think through those things. How can I find solutions to those two problems? So let's say you have your bigger problem right here. We're going to make this one in another color to make it more understandable and easier to kind of lay out. But let's say you have, okay, pricing and think about it objections, and you want to be handling those two objections, and you think that if you do fix those two problems, you're going to see an increase in conversion rate. Cool. Let's dissect those two problems right here so we can see what are the right actions you should be taking to fix those problems. So, pricing, what could we do? We don't want to lower our price or whatever. This is not a bad thing. It's not a good thing to be doing. What we want to do is first have rebuttals, like understand how you can handle that objections. Then what do you want to be doing? You want to be training your team to be able to use those rebuttals and giving them the right kind of mindset. So I would say mindset with, if like a lot of your people say, oh, but people don't have the right money, this is definitely a problem to fix. If people say, oh, they don't have the money, they're never going to say the right things for you to be able to, well, fix those issues in the first place. So you need to have the rebuttals. You need to have the mindset. Then what else do you need to have? You need to training. Do daily training with your team. Role plays, basically. Implement some of that. Got you. So we have those options right here. Now, for think about it, we can also have same things also. What we can be doing too, we think about it, because that's one that we definitely have with our sales training to solve, which I'm going to give you a bit of sauce right here. Hope you don't mind. One thing we do with the sales training too, to help you guys to just get less reason for people to think about it, is just to create an offer. Create an offer that has incentive to take action now. So the thing here we are really trying to do in this instance is give people less reason to say no, and I have to think about it. But let's say, okay, got you. If I take a look at all of those things, which are, let's think about it, for example. If I build out rebuttals, I tell my team that, hey, people don't really need to think about it. It's just that they have other objections. This is a smokescreen for another objection, which likely is pricing a product. Got you. So then, and you train them on that. You help them to do those role plays. Let's say you do, okay, I'm the customer. I'm telling you, yeah, the program looks good, but I just need to think about it. Role plays until they are really ingrained in their mind. And whenever they are on the field, they can do it right. And on top of that, you build an offer that incentivizes people to take action. Now, let's say it's a first-time visitors only offer. Then you can say, hey, by the way, this is because if you go ahead and think about it, totally cool. I get it. But this offer is only for people that come in for the first time. And I just want to make sure I keep the offer. And then you can do whatever it is you want. Put your credit card on file. And you can let me know in a week. That way you're sure they're going to be coming back. Pretty much. But that's basically the way how you go about it. Then once you do all those things, you can like tick them and say, okay, now they are green because they are done. Good. Got you. This problem is also green. Everything is done. Incredible. Then that is done. Got you. Then actually, because everything is done, this one is done too. And then cool. Move on to the next thing. Then sales is not the issue. We're going to be addressing lead nurturing. And you see, that's how I go about doing things. I literally lay out all my business like this. My entire business. I take a look at everything and I say, okay, what is the most pressing area I need to be focusing on? This one, got you. Now, in this area, what is the sub area that I need to be focusing on? This, got you. What are the sub problems in that? This and this, for sure, got you. How can I dissect those and establish a plan of action to solve this issue? Boop, boop, boop. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Okay, and then I just go by one, tick, 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 tick. And once everything is done, you've got a 7-figure gym. There's a link in the description for me to pitch you, but if you don't want, you can keep watching the videos. Have a good one.